In the quaint suburb of Maplewood, where white picket fences lined the streets and laughter echoed through the air, a sinister shadow loomed. It began innocently enough, with whispers of missing children. One by one, they vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the echoes of their laughter and a chilling sense of dread. Panic swept through the neighborhood like wildfire, igniting fear in the hearts of parents. As families scoured the streets and scoured the woods, they stumbled upon something far more disturbing: eerie sketches left behind by the missing children. Each drawing depicted the same dark figure, a silhouette with hollow, empty eyes that seemed to pierce through the very soul. The figure became known as the Shadow Man, a name that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest adults. One night, Sarah, a single mother, tucked her daughter Emma into bed. As she turned to leave, a flicker of movement caught her eye. On the wall, a drawing lay crumpled on the floor, half hidden beneath a pile of toys. Sarah picked it up, her heart racing as she recognized the unmistakable outline of the Shadow Man. The figure loomed ominously, its eyes dark voids that seemed to swallow the light around them. "Mommy, that's my friend," Emma chirped from her bed, her voice light and carefree, as if discussing a favorite toy. "Your friend?" Sarah's voice trembled. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" Emma's eyes sparkled with innocent delight. "He plays with me when you're not here. He's nice, Mommy. He says he wants to take me on adventures." A chill ran down Sarah's spine. The stories of the Shadow Man echoed in her mind, tales of a malevolent entity that preyed on the innocence of children. She had dismissed them as mere folklore, but now, standing in her daughter's room, she felt the weight of those tales pressing down on her. "Emma, honey, I don't want you to play with him anymore," Sarah said, forcing a smile. "Let's find something else to do." But Emma pouted, her little brow furrowing. "But he's fun. He shows me things, Mommy. He tells me secrets." Sarah's heart raced as she recalled the recent disappearances. She couldn't shake the feeling that her daughter was in grave danger. That night, sleep eluded her as she lay in bed, haunted by the thought of the Shadow Man. What if Emma became the next victim? The following day, Sarah decided to investigate. She visited the local library, where dusty tomes lined the shelves, their spines cracked and faded. She found an eccentric local historian named Mr. Jenkins, a man with wild hair and a penchant for the bizarre. When she explained her situation, his eyes widened with recognition. "The Shadow Man," he murmured, his voice trembling. "He's been around for generations, a dark spirit that feeds on the fears and innocence of children. The more they believe in him, the stronger he becomes." "Is there a way to stop him?" Sarah asked, desperation creeping into her voice. Mr. Jenkins nodded gravely. "There are rituals, ancient ones, that can banish him, but they require great courage and a pure heart. You must confront him directly." That night, Sarah returned home, her heart heavy with dread. Emma was already asleep, her little body curled up under the covers. But as Sarah tucked her in, she noticed something strange. The room was filled with drawings, dozens of them, all depicting the Shadow Man in various poses, each one more sinister than the last. "Emma?" Sarah gasped, shaking her daughter awake. "What is this?" Emma blinked sleepily, her eyes wide. "He told me to draw them, Mommy. He wants you to see." A knot tightened in Sarah's stomach. "What else did he tell you?" Emma sat up, her expression oddly serious for a child so young. "He said he's going to take me away. He wants me to come with him." "No," Sarah shouted, panic surging through her. "You can't go with him, Emma. He's not your friend." But Emma merely smiled, her eyes glinting with an unsettling light. "He says you don't understand. He's special." As the days passed, Emma's behavior grew stranger. She spoke of the Shadow Man as if he were a beloved companion, her laughter echoing through the house, tinged with an eerie quality. Sarah felt as if she were losing her daughter to this dark entity, and she knew she had to act quickly. With Mr. Jenkins' guidance, Sarah prepared for the ritual. She gathered candles, herbs, and a mirror, all while her heart raced with fear. That night, as the moon hung high in the sky, she set up the makeshift altar in Emma's room. "Emma, sweetheart, I need you to help me," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "We're going to send him away." Emma sat cross-legged on the floor, her eyes vacant and distant. "But he doesn't want to go. He likes it here." "Emma, listen to me," Sarah pleaded. "He's not your friend. He's dangerous. We have to be brave together." As the candles flickered, Sarah began to chant the incantation Mr. Jenkins had taught her. The air grew thick with tension, and shadows danced along the walls. Emma's expression shifted, her innocent demeanor replaced by something darker. "Stop!" Emma screamed, her voice suddenly deep and resonant. "You can't take him from me." The room plunged into darkness, the shadows coiling around Sarah like serpents. She felt a cold breath on her neck. And the familiar figure of the Shadow Man materialized before her, his hollow eyes gleaming with malice. "Leave her," Sarah shouted, her voice rising above the chaos. "You have no power here." The Shadow Man laughed, a sound that echoed like 1,000 whispers. "You think you can banish me? I thrive on fear, and you have given me so much." In that moment, Sarah realized that the only way to defeat him was to confront her own fears. She took a deep breath, summoning every ounce of courage within her. "You are nothing but a shadow, a figment of fear. You have no hold over us." With those words, the candles flared to life, illuminating the room with a warm glow. The shadows recoiled, and the Shadow Man let out a howl of rage. "No, you cannot take her from me," he screamed, but Sarah pressed on, her voice steady and unwavering. "Emma, come back to me," she cried, reaching out for her daughter. Emma blinked, confusion washing over her face. "Mommy, come to me, sweetheart," Sarah urged, her heart pounding. With a final, desperate scream, the Shadow Man lunged forward, but Sarah's words formed a barrier, pushing him back. The room erupted in a blinding light, and for a moment, time stood still. Then, as quickly as it had begun, the light faded. The Shadow Man was gone, and Emma collapsed into Sarah's arms, trembling but safe. "Mommy, what happened?" Emma whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "It's okay, baby. You're safe now," Sarah said, holding her tightly. "The Shadow Man can't hurt you anymore." As dawn broke over Maplewood, the air felt lighter. The weight of darkness lifted. The neighborhood slowly began to heal, but the memory of the Shadow Man lingered, a reminder of the darkness that could creep into even the most idyllic places. And as for Sarah and Emma, they found solace in each other, their bond stronger than ever. But sometimes, in the quiet moments of the night, Sarah would catch a glimpse of a shadow moving just beyond the window, a reminder that some evils never truly disappear.